Okay, Fast Five. I was a huge fan of the first one. I absolutely hated the second one. The third and fourth ones were... I wasn't really hugely impressed with these. This one actually takes all of surviving cast members. Does combine them all. In, uh, in Brazil. So with most things in Brazil, you're going to see some scantily clad women in essentially one scene. You are going to see some of the bazaar running through some of the we'll just say slums, because most of their slums are actually built like on top of each other. So you can jump from one roof to another roof. And that makes for one of the first time you guys get to see The Rock and The Rock's team show up. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The initial thing you get to see is they're going to rob some cars from a train using essentially an all-terrain semi. Yeah, they're stealing high-performance cars off a moving train by cutting a hole in the side of the train, yanking the cars out, tipping the flatbed of the truck that they've got, and driving the cars off. Then to find out it's not about the car. It's about this one little object inside one of the cars. Which sets up the plot, sets the main plot. And as they're doing this, some DEA agents get in, and they get killed. That's what sends in The Rock's group. And The Rock got ridiculously huge for this film. The times when you see The Rock and Vin Diesel's a big guy. The Rock almost dwarfs him in size. So The Rock is sent to get these guys, thinking, it's just the three main one. You have Jordana Brewster, Paul Walker, and Vin Diesel. He's out to get them, and then they find out what this magical item was, and essentially it's a chip. And this chip has all of these safe house locations for Reyes, who is, essentially the person who runs all the drugs. He owns the cops. He owns the whole city. And they're kind of like, okay, we're going to hit what he's got for money. And they're like, well, what are we looking at? They're like, why is it all in kilos? So like, that much money you weigh in kilos, you don't actually physically count it because it would take too long. They get a group together. They hit one of his facilities first, a small cash house. But then they get him to put all of it in one giant location. That location, of course, is the police station. So, approximately $100 million is inside a giant vault in the evidence room inside a police station. So they're trying to fight their way past Reyes and his massive gang. The Rock and his special forces group. Do The Rock and Vin Diesel have a knockdown, drag-out fight? Yes. Is it satisfying? Yes. It is in close. It is brutal. It is punches, elbows, knees. It is... Out of all the movies that I've seen where you've got two big name two action stars, you can see them finally actually get into a decent fight. These two had probably one of the best fights I've seen in like recent memories. In films where you had like Jason Statham and Jet Li, their fights were never as satisfying as watching these two guys literally just wail on each other. But I have to talk about the last. Are there really good car chases? Yeah, they actually skip one when they're trying to get a better car to do the raid in the police station. A guy challenges somebody else. Vin Diesel challenges the other guy to a car race, and they just show it afterwards. I would have loved to see an additional car chase. Now the ending chase scene, where they steal the vault and drive around Brazil. Two muscle cars dragging a 7x12. Yes, like a 7x12 vault. A vault while being chased by virtually every single cop in Rio. Yes, they're being chased by a ton of cops. And they're driving two muscle cars, dragging a vault, making sharp turns using the vault to hit cars, to smash cars, to go through part of a building. It is ridiculously over the top. And then once you think, okay, they're on a bridge, it can't get any more ridiculous. Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Oh, yeah. When you see them start to use the vault being dragged by cars in a ridiculously offensive style, kind of like the ball and chain. Smashing cars while on a bridge, cutting cars in half, making enough tension across the cables. Yeah. Dialogue, nice, witty, snappy. This is, every character is actually relatively fully formed, with the exception of the one or two new characters. Everyone has very, very crisp dialogue. It's nice. It's got lots of lightheartedness. They do some melodrama. That's what you get in your standard like red meat and potatoes sort of action flick like this. The Rock as a villain is great. Oh, The Rock's a super hard-nosed, FBI Special Forces agent. It's fantastic. He does a great job at it. Vin Diesel's character, pretty well established. Does this movie, of course, end with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker again wanting to have that race off? Oh yeah, yeah. And they do a pretty good chase scene with some squad cars, where they just want to race them, just to race them. This movie does get kind of long, though. You can tell there's lots of action and adventure, but they're also trying to wrap up. Here's what characters have been doing since their movies, and now that everything's all said and done, here's everyone's story after it. Then it makes it feel kind of long. That and where I saw it at, there's like 20 minutes of previews. But if you're a fan of the first one, you thought they missed the mark on like 2 or 3, but you kind of like 4, this one takes their surviving characters from the previous ones, wraps them all together, has a very interesting plot when it comes to like an action movie of this sort. Good dialogue, good acting, nice action sequences, great chase scenes, gun violence, people being punched and kicked. It's everything you want in like that pre-summer blockbuster movie, and that is Fast 5.